Welcome back to Talking with me, Arrayas, about my second studio album, Vices. And now we are discussing my first single that came out on the record, Best Worst Love. This one in the Dante's Inferno canon is representative of the sixth circle of hell, which is heresy. And we are here with Brett and my manager, Nicole. How's it going, you guys?
It's going great.
Very good. Great day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I just want to jump right in, and I've got a few questions about the song.
Absolutely.
I want to ask everyone a few questions about it, and just kind of see what we can come up with on it. But with this song, I feel like it's a very strong song, and we also did some content for you here, and also I got to hear this one quite a bit too. But I really love the concept behind this. But, just like a lot of your songs, you've got a lot of driving factors and interesting riffs and instruments and different things that stand out to me. And I feel like that's very on brand for you. But obviously in the very beginning of this song, it's like it comes in as like a harmonica of some sort. And I love it. I think it fits great. I just want to know, like, what it was. Was that you that wanted to put that in there? Was it the producing aspect? What's the meaning behind that in this song?
Yeah. I actually, for the harmonica, it was really cool. There's a cute little story behind that, but that was kind of my idea, also kind of Zach's idea on that. And as I've said, before, I love playing around with different sounds. Having like a signature, a thing that is very noticeable in each song that makes it very signature, and I think that the harmonica really is, and it sets this like saloon, desert, like I call it like my futuristic, like dystopian desert song, and I think that the harmonica gives it that like longing and that like bluesy like yearning for something more. And actually it was cool because when I first moved to Nashville, I moved to Franklin, and I was playing all the time at like my first show was at Puckett's, now known as Fox and Lock. But then my other like first place that I hung out was Kimbrough's, and they have this little room in the back of Kimbrough's where you can just like go to jam. And there's like pianos and old guitars and everything. And I met this harmonica player there, and his name was Steve, and he's this like cute little old guy with just like a million harmonicas in a case, and he's the one that recorded it for the record.
That's amazing.
And it's awesome, and Zach and Caleb kind of made it sound great and chopped it up, and now it is what it is today. So yeah, for the harmonica, thank you, Steve.
Awesome. Well, Steve, it was a pleasure to hear your harmonica noise. So
Right, yeah. I know.
Yeah, but with these songs, and just the different aspects that you have to them, you also have the production side, your production team, the people that help you put it all together, but also you've got a team that's behind the scenes, which is where Nicole would come in. And so I just kind of wanted to elaborate with both of you guys and kind of talk to you about how this relationship started, and how it correlated into what it is today. And, how she's, helping you grow as an artist with songs like Best Worst Love and different things like that, and getting it in front of people that need to hear it. So
Absolutely. Nicole, how do you feel about Best Worst Love? Take it away.
Yeah, no, I love the little intro over into that, because how this all started, I would say it kind of started with Best Worst Love. And, it's always been kind of a favorite of mine, because it was the first that I really heard that made me say, hey, there's something different here. There's something special here. And so I had actually just booked Arrayas at a writer's round at Cafe Coco. They have that little writer's room back there, super great space. And it was just, a one-off writer's round thing. I got her, I think it was just an open submission. I'd never really heard of her before, but thought it was cool enough to, put on this acoustic round. And she showed up with her keyboard, dressed to the nines. And as soon as she started singing that opening line of Best Worst Love, I kind of turned around, and I was with my roommate, and as it kind of builds through the song and you hit that, when I say jump, you say how high. I just turned to her and I was like, I need her. I need to talk to her. We need to figure something out here. And, from that day, I kind of had her a little bit and just made sure I stayed on her radar of like, hey, I want to put this record out with you. I want to see, what we can do with it. And yeah, the exciting part of my job is being able to kind of find artists that haven't really been discovered yet, and the ones that are kind of new at their career and just have an amazing talent there. And for me, it's all about the brand and kind of what makes it different. So, for me, when it comes to this project, it's all about, Reyes is someone different. She has a very clear message of what she's trying to say. There's a very clear sonic sound there that's something a little bit unique, not completely unheard of, and you still get that, familiar sounds. It still fits on the radio, but there's something different there. And her voice and her performance itself is just something else to see, especially live. And so I've been very excited about this entire project so far and really excited about how it's going. And yeah.
I know. And she said that she wasn't good on camera. I'm behind the camera, she goes. And I'm like, what? That was like the most professional, beautiful like explanation of my career.
Thank you.
No, yes, no problem. No, and that was the cool thing about meeting Nicole was that she was like one of the first people that wanted to work and to help me, to coach me, to get me through different releases and talking through branding ideas. Like I'll have some wacky idea and she'll be like, okay, like how can we execute that? Like she dials me back, but like still gives air and like the ability for me to like pursue the wildest of dreams. And she doesn't like stop me when I'm like, I'm going to play the Super Bowl halftime show. She's like, dream big, baby. You know, like it's never like it's never a question of, oh, can you do that? It's like, okay, well, when is this possible? You know, in your career, when do we see this actually happening so that we set realistic goals and realistic expectations for everything? And honestly, like it's taught me so much and has given me so much more appreciation for other artists doing all the behind the scenes stuff, like so much mad respect, you know, for artists like you and other local artists that are just doing it themselves. And we're all trying to just do our best.
Yeah.
Something I've definitely found, you know, in this world with artists here in Nashville, you know, you're creative people in a race. You definitely fall into this group of people, but you're creative people, and that's why you're artists. You have all these big ideas. You want to get the content right. You want to get the songs right. You want to get it out there. And okay, great, you handle that, but there's also the press and performance. You know, why these performances? Who's going to be invited? What is it, you know, saying about you, and why is it happening? The operational side of making sure, you know, your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, and you're making those connections. The marketing side, past just the creative, but the logistical side and the ads and the audiences, and really figuring out everything else so everything is snowballing together at the right time. All pillars are firing off at the same time and can kind of build that career forward. So one thing that I always see is that, you know, artists are very creative people, and so you stick to that creative lane, and sometimes the rest can be overlooked or not thought about it. So I think, you know, the balance of creative to back end really works here, you know?
Yeah,
for sure.
It's given me a lot of practicality even in sound, trying to make everything on the record still pop sensible, still radio sensible. Again, like being like, all right, we're going to go crazy. And then being like, okay, where do we dial it back and still make it familiar and relatable for people so that it is something that's easy to consume at the end of the day, you know?
For sure, yeah. Those are all, that's so awesome to hear. And I love the story of how you guys got connected and what she's been doing for you. And I mean, you can see it, you know, in the steps that you're taking with your career and the things that you're doing, you know, with your content, doing stuff like this. You know, just the way you're writing, the songs that you're doing, and the people that you're meeting, it's just great. And I'm looking forward to following through with everything else you guys are doing too, and keeping up with it.
Thank you so much.
But I really, you know, I want to come back to, you know, Best Worst Love. Yeah. Right. Very strong title. All of your songs have very strong titles. But this song, you know, in particular, Best Worst Love. You know, when you think of that, you know, what is a best worst love?
Right.
Like, what is it? Like, can you elaborate a little bit and let us know, like, what is a best worst love?
Boy, oh boy, can I. So anyways, the thing about this, so it's related to heresy, and that's the circle of hell that we are in right now. And so obviously this is kind of the motif where it fits into the relationship. The relationship is your vice. The person is your vice. And with this one, like, a lot of people think it was romantic, and I'll kind of get into how I like directed it in the music video as being a little bit, I guess, more romantic, but it isn't inherently romantic. This song is about my best friend, and he is actually, it's super cool. He's a local drag queen in Nashville, and another reason why I'm such a staunch ally of the LGBT community and everything like that. But he has done so much for me, and he has really undone a lot of prejudice and like preconceived notions that I carried with me from the church. And I think that it's so interesting now to like have become so close to someone that like truly I would do anything for him still to this day. I mean, we aren't quite as like bound and tied together at the hip as we used to be, but like he saved me from when I withdrew from school, from the Christian college I was going to, he flew to LA and drove back to Chicago with me, you know, and everything that we have done along the way, he moved to Nashville with me. We have done it together. And like at this point, I was in relationships that were terrible, and he would be the one that kind of got me out of it and would just be like, it's me or them, you know? And although like those were very harsh things to hear at the time, I was still so ultimately kind of in love with him, that it was like, it wasn't romantic necessarily, but he's still a soulmate of mine. And that's like the best worst love, that if he says jump, I will always say how high. And that's definitely where the song comes from. But the interesting thing is that people then would always ask us, in an assumption like, oh, are you dating? And then it always open, well, he's gay. And then he'd be like, well, is he really gay? And it's like, yeah, man, what do you do? What are you talking about? Yes, he is, and like, I think that heresy is kind of defined in a lot of contexts as like a non-traditional relationship that both traditional and like modern culture kind of don't approve of. And that's kind of the view that I've always had on me and my best friend,
Awesome.
It's always been very tightly knit, very deep-seated, and I don't know what I'd do without him, but also like people have not liked him or thought that we're toxically close and codependent, and maybe that was true at a point, and maybe it is good, maybe it's bad, but that's not really for me to say. Experience is experience, and closeness sometimes just happens that way, and it becomes your vice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know what else to say, but that was really good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to stop that one, you think? Or do you want to, is there anything else you want to hit off on it?
Absolutely. I want to touch a little bit on the music video.
Okay, yeah,
this.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, okay. Yeah. I definitely want to touch on the music video. So this is definitely kind of a statement piece, and takes place in this sort of like, like grungy bar setting.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's really cool. I'm really excited about that one as well, because this has always been a vision of mine, is that, again, like not only showing solidarity, but also as like kind of a coming out piece for me, like also finally admitting to the world that I am also attracted to women. And like kind of going into that in the Best Worst Love video was very crucial for me as an artist. And although like I haven't had a lot of time to like necessarily, and a lot of opportunity to maybe explore it and like understand it fully, and I hope to get there one day. It's something that I think is very important for me to admit, and why I'm so driven with, and so like, again, like just always advocating for the community, is that now I've kind of seen myself as becoming a part of it in that way.
So this video is out?
It is, it definitely is. And you can find it wherever you have a YouTube. And, but anyways, no, the premise of this video is, so like there's this man, just random man, like he's in a masquerade mask throughout the video, and he's pursuing me in different scenes of the bar, like at the bar, bathroom of the bar, on the pool table. And in each encounter, it gets a little bit more heated, but out of the corner of my eye, I see this person, and I'm always chasing after that person, because that is my best worst love. Like, although like, yes, he is enticing, and yes, like I'm still attracted to him in a lot of ways, I'm going after the thing that is the more intriguing, the one that keeps pulling me back. And at the end of the video, after we kind of like leave the bar setting, it's revealed that it's a woman. And that's kind of like a big moment for me of being like, he never had a chance. It was sort of like the whole idea. And, and whether it be a friend or whether it end up being romantic, it doesn't really matter what the relationship is, because you can kind of find your soulmate, I feel like, in anybody,
Yeah, I like the way that, you described that. And I have not watched the video yet, but after this, I'm definitely going to, now that I know the backstory on Best Worst Love and all those things. And Nicole, what has it been like, to be behind the scenes on stuff like her music video and stuff like this? Like, what has that done for you as, a manager in your relationship with Arrayas?
Yeah, I mean, I love Arrayas. I mean, I think this is one of my more exciting projects right now. I think everything that she stands for as a person, as an artist, is just really cool, really inspiring, and she packages it up in this, really amazing package of music and art. And so for me, it's just really exciting and important to be able to support that and get it to as many listeners as possible, to make sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and give her that platform to just do what she needs to do and say what she needs to say, and really make sure it supports it. And so, yeah, for me, I love Arrayas. I'm really excited to kind of see this year coming up. There's a couple spoiler alerts, some projects coming down the line, some more coming up for 2023, and I'm just excited to see where it grows to in 24, 25, and get her up to those, VMA and Grammy stages one day.
Hey,
just want to be that proud mom on the side. She makes me proud.
Shoot for the moon, land among the stars, or something cheesy like that.
Exactly.
I'm sure somebody has a tattoo of that somewhere.
Oh my God.
I'll pull this clip back in 2025 when you're accepting an award and slice it up.
I know, and I'll go, yeah, everybody, shoot for the moon. And I will never probably ever say that again. I'm so sorry, everybody. Thank you so much for talking with us and discussing Best Worst Love. And I'm so thankful for both Brett and Nicole here today. Best Worst Love was the first single of my second studio album, Vices, which is now streaming everywhere.